Hey everyone, RJ here with CV Tech, and today I'm finally getting around to doing my full review on the Kyocera Hydro Reach. Now I'm going to try to get through as much as I can with this device today to give you pretty much my thoughts on the phone after using it for quite some time. So we're going to go ahead first of all and take you around the phone. Of course, this phone does have a blue color around the front here with a black back. Up top here is your ear speaker. This is your 2 megapixel camera in the front. Your proximity sensor here. This is your 5-inch display, and your keys are on screen for your back, home, and recents button. On the bottom, you have your micro USB charging port. This little area here is to remove the back cover, and the microphone is right here. On the right side, you have your power button. Left side is your volume rocker. And on top is your 3.5 millimeter headset jack. And that's it. On the back, you have your 5 megapixel camera, your speaker, LED flash. The front and rear cameras do record in 720p HD, and that's all you have on the back. The battery is not replaceable, and the back's kind of hard to get off, so I will leave the back on there, but it does have a protective coating around here where the SIM and micro SD card goes to keep it from getting water in there, because it is water resistant. Now, I'll go through some of the specs hurriedly with you. This phone does run Android 5.1. It is IP57 certified for water and dust resistance. Like I said, it does have a 5-inch display at 540 by 960 resolution at 220 pixels per inch. It does have an IPS LCD display, and it looks pretty good, to be honest with you. Like I may mention, it's got a 5 megapixel camera. It's got a number of different features and modes on this phone here. And it does have a 2 megapixel camera in the front. It does have digital image stabilization, which does work, surprisingly, compared to some other ones that I have used. Now, this phone does run the 1.1 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 210 processor with an Adreno 304 GPU, 1 gigabyte of RAM, 8 gigs of built-in storage, and it will support up to a 64 gigabyte micro SD card. It does have a 2160 milliamp hour non-replaceable battery with around 6.7 days of standby time and around 12 hours of talk time. And that's about all there is really to this device. It does have Bluetooth 4.1. It is 3G, 4G LTE, enhanced LTE compatible. And so, yeah, that's just about all there is to this device. Now, this is a very budget, low-end device. You could pick this phone up. It came out at $100, but after rebates and stuff like that, you can get them for like $39 now. Walmart sells them for like $50 or $60 right now. So these phones really came down in price, and I believe that the name Kyocera is the reason why. But don't take this phone lightly. This phone does work very well. It does not feel very heavy. Does not feel very, it does feel durable, and it does feel good in the hand. The 5-inch display is perfect for this phone. Call quality is really good. And I love the color on the outside. Now you can tell it is kind of a fingerprint magnet on the screen. I mean, it does, as you see there, smear up pretty good. So we're going to go ahead right now and turn the phone up, or turn the phone on. And you'll see the screen. It does look really good. Pull it up close here, get the focus in a little bit, and it doesn't do it justice. But the screen does do really well, and there is sometimes some hiccups. In scrolling, depending on how fast you're trying to do it, and if it's trying to, load things up and stuff of that nature, because this is a low power device, but it does do a good job, and it does seem to work very well. So first of all, we're going to go in here, and first thing I want to look at is the messaging, because I know a lot of people ask me, does this phone have emojis? That's like the #1 question I get on phones. So I will go in here, and the stock keyboard is the Google keyboard, as you see here. So if you go in here and type a message and just say hello, and of course autocorrection does work well. This button down here at the bottom, if you hold it down, if I can focus in right there. I don't know if I can do it or not. Yeah, it's not wanting to focus in too good. But anyway, it does have a kind of like a smiley face right there. You scroll up, and all your emojis are right there. And it does have a number of them, as you see. Plenty of them to choose from. So if you want emojis, this phone does come with the Google keyboard pre-installed. So it does not have its own dedicated keyboard, like LG and stuff like that. So yes, it does have emojis, which is really nice to see on any device. All my apps are here. Your app drawer, of course, is here. We'll go in here to the settings, and you have your normal settings: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, data usage. I'll go to more here, and you'll see airplane mode, hotspot, cellular networks, emergency alerts, stuff like that. Pretty much everything that you see in your normal average, phones. Adaptive brightness level right now, it is pretty low. If I was to go ahead and turn it on up, the brightness does get very bright. As you see, it blacked out the whole background. And it is very bright. So therefore, I will turn it back down to where you can see everything else here. Wallpaper, sleep, daydream, font size. Battery percentage is in the display, so you can see your battery percentage up top if you go to display. Sound notification storage. Now, it does have 8 gigabytes of internal storage. Now, however, it says 3.82 total space. Now, whenever I first bought the phone and turned it on, didn't do anything to it, available was 2.99 gigabytes free. So even with 3.82 total space, after all the pre-installed junk that you can't delete, you end up with 2.99. And after moving all my apps to the SD card and stuff of that nature, having all the apps that I really want downloaded, I still have right at 1.5 gigs available for me to use. Of course, get your cache data here. If you clear that out, it will make some more available storage. Got eco mode, of course. You can go ahead and go in here and set all this up here. I don't do it. I don't mess with it. But it does have it. Battery mode. I've not really tested the battery life out on this phone. It does do pretty good. I have seen better, but it's not as bad as some people have said it is. Going into apps. See, it does take sometimes it does take a little bit to get into the apps and go into certain things, but as you see here, scrolling over, you can see a lot of my apps is on the SD card, so that does make for more room, which is really nice. You got your location, your lock screen. You can go in here and choose your security type from swipe, pattern, pin, or password. Lock screen background, owner info, show instructions. Accounts, language and input, and I will show you here that the only keyboard available is the English US Google keyboard. So you can, of course, you can go in there and change your language if you speak a different language. You can also download third-party apps. Date and time accessibility, developer options, and of course your about phone. And it does run Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, and I really highly doubt this phone will ever see anything above that. So that's pretty much all the settings there. We want to go in here right now and play a game. We're going to run Asphalt Nitro. It's already loaded up, so hopefully it will be loaded up and it won't restart itself. So it won't take that much time to get started. If it does, I will pause and come back. So we'll see you here in a second. So we are almost all loaded up. Now this phone did take quite a while to get this all set up and get started. So this is not a powerhouse by any means. So we're going to play this game and see how it does do. So as you see, I don't see any drop frames. It looks really good on my end. Really, no issues. I mean, drifting and everything, it seems to react very well without any major problems. So, pretty good job playing this game here. This is a pretty graphic intense game, but it does work fairly well. And going back home takes a second, but all the apps are back, and it does seem to be, fairly smooth with a few hiccups here and there. So what we're going to do right now is go into Clean Master and clean this out. And I will go ahead and pause this again so I can save some time. So one of the main things with this phone is keeping this phone cleaned out, keeping the cache cleaned out, downloading something like Clean Master, going in here every once in a while, boosting the power, clearing out all the junk that it does not need. That right there really helps with this phone to do that quite often. So like I say, the phone does run very well. Not really many issues. I mean, it is my current daily driver. I use it. It's got a nice screen. It's got a nice feel to it. Call quality is great. Reception is great. And the phone overall just works very well. So, I mean, whatever opinion you may have of Kyocera, it's not always true. Because like I said in my past video, that a lot of people who want to dog this phone or phones like this is ones coming from a more mid-range or a flagship device that works a lot better than this phone does. I will say that. And so you just this phone here, you really can't compare to any kind of flagship or mid-size, any flagship or mid-range device. So we're gonna go in here right now and run a Geekbench 3, and this will take some time, of course. So I will be pausing it again and coming back. As you see, 1.09 gigahertz processor, which is 1.1, 895 megabytes free. So we'll go ahead and start this benchmark test. And while it is running for a minute, I'll give you some of the pros. Like I said, call quality is good, reception is good, build quality is good. It does run smooth for the most part. There's not many issues. There is some hiccups here and there. That's to be expected with a phone of this price range. But it's nothing that's unbearable, nothing that's going to make you mad. I want to throw it against a wall. Even if you did, it may even withstand it. I don't know. It's not mil spec like the Icon was, but it does do pretty well. Battery life is on par. It's not the greatest in the world, but of course it's not the worst either. Some of the negatives with the phone is the fact that you can't remove the battery. You can't put another battery in it if you choose. It is a little low in power. It does not have the fastest power, of all phones, but it does the job. It does what it's supposed to do, and for the price point that you pay for the phone, it's not really something that you can really complain about. The camera is one of the major fails on this phone. It is considerably better than the Icon, as the voices and all are in sync with your mouth. But however, it's just the rear camera is not that great. I took some pictures with it, and pictures just don't look real. They just kind of look bad. I've not really done a full camera test on it, which I will be doing soon. However, I have sent some Snapchat videos and pictures with a front-facing camera with this phone, and they do seem to look pretty good. I made some front-facing videos just to see how it looks in testing, and it looks pretty decent. So, I mean, the front camera does do a pretty good job. It's all in sync. However, you do got to hold the phone far away from your face to keep it to where it's not like right on your face. So that's kind of one thing that I'm not really crazy about either. But, the camera is probably one of the lowest points of this device. But like I said, I have seen worse, and it's not the worst camera on the market. So all this talking I've been doing, the test is already done. And as you see, it does test really low at 295 on single core score and 968 on multi-core score. So definitely not the best scores on the block, but what do you expect from a phone of this price range and the processor that it does run? So now we're going to go into the camera and show you some of the features of the camera. And when you go into the camera, it does brighten up the screen considerably. There's no way to really turn that off, so that will drain your battery. Here, of course, is your front-facing camera, and as you see, the light does look pretty good. So yeah, hello there, and you can see that, you know, in a normal lit room, it does show up pretty well. So while we're here, we'll push this button here, record in picture is HD 1280 by 720, 2 megapixel, 1 megapixel. Going here to the settings. You got self timer, touch shutter, video. You can record in 720, 480, QVGA, or basically nothing. Go to the front facing camera here. You got your modes. You got normal, continuous shooting. You got your effects mode here, which you got all of these different vivid, kaleidoscope, sketch, fisheye, all these modes, miniature, all these different kind of filters. So no shortage of filters here on this device. Scene selection. You got all these: normal, person view, food, night mode, sports, and memo. Manual mode, which I do prefer because you can go up to the settings and you can choose the size of your pictures up to 5 megapixel. I know I'm taking forever on this video and I apologize, but I'm trying to get everything out in this full review. Flash, self timer, HDR on or off, image stabilization, touch shutter, and smile shutter, and video mode. Image stabilization on or off, and it does work fairly well. I will do a video off and on when I do a video test on it. Got your light and your recording. It's the same as the front. So a lot of features, and you do have time lapse, which is really awesome as well. So you do have quite a bit of features on the camera and everything. And we'll go right here, right fast like to the front camera again, and you have normal, special effects, and manual mode for the front facing camera as well. We'll go ahead right now and we'll take a picture. And there you go. We'll go ahead and look at the picture here that it took. And there's a picture, nothing special, but you know, it is what it is. So that's the camera app. Then your screen does dim back down and everything. You got your drop down here, which you do have a number of features. You can edit it: interruptions, hotspot, eco mode, Wi-Fi, airplane. You do have a flashlight app pre-installed. It's not that bright, but you know, it's better than nothing and better than downloading one of them scam flashlight apps from the Play Store. So that's basically, I guess, all I want to say. Go into phone here, and here is your keypad for the dialer. It's really nice, really spaced out, really easy to see. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say about the Kyocera Hydro Reach. I know it's 18 minutes long. I do apologize for it being so long, but I wanted to get a full review out, and no matter how quick I try to make a video, it seems to run in this long. So anyway, if you got any questions or comments about this phone, be sure to leave it in the comment section below, and I will get back with you as soon as possible. If this was helpful in any way, give me that thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so by hitting that subscribe button down below. I'll also leave some links to like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and how you can follow me there. I will give you right now, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CV_Tech1, or on Snapchat at CVTech1. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If this was helpful. So yeah. Talk to y'all later. See you in the next video.